What is up YouTube? My name is Jesse, your host for today on the Consumer Tech channel, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to show you how to remove or replace a power supply from your PC. It's very simple, and the only tools you'll need today are a Phillips head screwdriver about the size of your fingernail, and a magnetic tray or a container like mine. So I use this to keep all my screws that we will be taking out and putting back into the PC safe here without losing them. A container will do fine, but a magnetic tray keeps them together. So without further ado, let's roll the intro. So the first thing you're going to need to do is remove the back of the side panel from your PC by unscrewing the screws and then pulling it backwards. Depending on the case, I know some PCs like mine in my room, you push forward to take it off, but usually you would pull it back. So you need to put that aside somewhere safe where you're not going to step on it, such as I'm going to put mine down here. Then the second step will be to turn your PC on its side with the open side up. So as you can see, this PC is an older type of, it has an older type of case, meaning that the power supply will usually be up the top, which doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect how we remove or replace it. It just means that you need to turn the case on its side, because if you had it upwards, it would be harder to hold the power supply in and unscrew it, because then you'd have the risk of it falling. But as you can see, we've got it laid side down, so it's all fine. So the next step actually requires you to get your screwdriver and unscrew the 4 crosshead screws that attach your power supply to the case. So do this in a cross pattern. So and once the screw's out, just put it into your magnetic tray and keep it safe. So go in a cross pattern. Now that you've unscrewed the power supply, what you need to do is unplug all attached modules of the PC. So, for example, the 24-pin power connector to the motherboard, the 4-pin to the CPU, and then the 4-pin to the hard drive, and any others that you might have, including expansion cards and disk drives. So now that everything's attached, you can bundle it all together. Simply slide the power supply back and you can take it out. So now that we've removed the power supply, we can now insert our new one. This requires your choice and the type of case that you have, and that is depending which way you want the power supply to be faced. If you, which you probably will, have your power supply at the bottom of the case, if it has a vent on the bottom, feel free to put the fan intake downwards. But if you're going to put on carpet, do not do that, because you will suffocate the power supply and probably burn down your house. So if it is on the bottom and you are going to be putting it on carpet, flip it so that the fan intake is coming from inside the PC. What that also will do is take hot air from inside the computer and take it out. So, but in my case, I have to put it at the top of the case, and the intake can only go from the inside because there is no grill on top. So simply put it in and slide it forward. Now you can get your 4 screws and screw them in yet again in a cross pattern. So I actually need to get a new power supply, which I've done here, but because, as you can see here, the plastic won't allow the power supply to be pushed completely in. So let's just remove that, put that aside, get your new power supply, put it in, fan side down, and slide it in. Now we can reinsert the screws in a cross pattern. Don't do them tight the first time, because we can go back and redo it. Now we can do the last one tight, and back in a cross motion we can tighten them all back up. Now that everything has been screwed in securely, we can plug in the cords that we unplugged before. So starting off with the 24 pin connector. Then the 4-pin CPU connector. And the 4-pin Molex connector to the hard drive. So I hope you guys enjoyed this really quick video on how to replace or remove your power supply from your PC. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, then like it. If you disliked it, then dislike it. If your feelings are more complicated than this, then please be sure to comment down below. Share this video with your friends if they need to know how to replace their power supply. That's all, guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, and if any of you guys were wondering what this is earlier on in the video, it's actually a 24-pin to 20-pin connector. And all it is it's a 24-pin plug with 4 pins knocked out and then connected to a 20-pin. That's because some older or smaller motherboards don't take the 24 pins. Usually they do now, but the older ones usually don't. So that's why I got this with one of my power supplies. So yeah. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. See ya.